leader of March and March says communities do not need permission to stage peaceful marches, speaking during the high-level stakeholder summit on undocumented foreign nationals currently underway at Musgrave, Durban. So she basically is saying, screw you to the government. She is literally not even going to take what the government is saying into consideration. The government was like, there should be no strikes or protests that should take place on the 30th of March. Cut it off. They gave her a warning, and she came here with her rebellious spirit and says not even the government or the president can stop us from protesting. It is our right. It is our constitutional right to protest whenever we are dissatisfied with how things have been moving in South Africa, how South Africa is being governed as of late. Well, check out this clip and let us come back and discuss.
Well, March is our constitutional right. Nobody in the country, not even the president, can refuse us to march. When we spoke to the South African Police Service, not the SAPS, I mean the Metro Police, they told us they don't want us to march on the 30th because it's a security threat. They want us to march any other day, which is the 1st, the 2nd, and 3rd. Unfortunately, we told them that they can't decide for us when to march. We decide for ourselves when to march. I mean, even if I was to go there with a couple of people and decide we're going to march, the police can only accompany us. They can't tell us to stop. It's our democratic rights that's enshrined in the Constitution. I mean, I've seen the Premier of the province has been very active and at the forefront of this entire conversation. And for him to host the very first summit is proof of that. You know, I think he's doing better than the president of the country, if you ask me, when it comes to addressing the issue. And I think he deserves credit for that. And I think, well, I hope that he'll come out with a solution.
Well, that was the leader of March and March, Jacinta Ngobese, who claims to be tackling the immigration crisis in the country through her movement, her organization, that seemingly only attack black foreigners, black migrants, never the white ones. And I say this because while in that video she's speaking, there's a white lady behind her. I think I once did a story about her where she called African migrants amakwerekwere, a derogatory term used to describe foreigners, particularly black foreigners. This term is very insulting. I told you that it is similar to the N racial slur word and the K racial slur word. And someone asked me in the comment section the other day, what is a K racial slur word? It's the same as N. It's just that here we call it K. I can't say it out loud, but please do Google what it actually means. So the white woman is there in the back, while Miss Jacinta Ngobese, the leader of March and March, tells South Africa, goes on national television and says not even the president can stop us from protesting on the 30th of June 2026. The white lady, who is she? Who is she? Why is she looking so... Let's bring that video up. Let's bring that video up and let's analyze it silently. Let's mute it. Let's mute it and let's analyze it. Who is that lady in the background? Is it the funders? Are the funders on standby, guarding their investment, making sure that their investment don't slip up, making sure that their investment is not easily intimidated by the government, making sure that that rebellious spirit that she's displaying on national television is riled up. It keeps on going. It does not back down. Huh? Are those the funders? The ones that are mobilizing this group, mobilizing them, making sure they travel each and every single week. They are on the road traveling. Where do they get that kind of money? Because I can assure you, Miss Jacinta was fired from her day job as a talentless radio presenter. She has a diploma in supply chain and she has never been hired to do any supply chain or logistics or anything in her life. So where does she get the money? Where do the funding come from? Day in, day out, protesting, mobilizing them, different cities, different provinces. I'm talking transportation fees, food, accommodation, making sure that you look good in your attire, printing March and March t-shirts week in, week out. Where do we get the money from? And today, I think this video has exposed to us where that money comes from. Some say her name is, I forgot what they said her name is, some Boer name. She's just a normal person that loves South Africa. She does not have the money like most people think she does. She does not have the juice like that. She's just a normal poor Boer that just wants to see South Africa go back on track. It depends for her what's on track when it comes to her. What's on track? Because there's two realities that exist in her life. What's on track for her? What is she once put out a video a long time ago where she says she wants to see the country back on track. For her, in what context does she mean that? What does she mean when she says she wants to see the country back on track? There are two realities for her. Pre-1994 on track, where her kind were ruling, where her kind were in government oppressing people that look like me, and post-1994, where her kind got the best deal post-apartheid, where her kind got an all-white state, an all-white land called Orania, where her kind still retained 80% of the country's wealth, land, and resources. So for her, when she says she wants to see the country back on track, in what context is she referring to? Which reality is she speaking to? So some people are saying she's not a funder. She's just one of the members that advocate for South Africa. She wants her country back. Like I said, in what context? So yeah, Jacinta's rebellious spirit is going to get her in trouble, because I can assure you guys, should anything happen on the 30th of June, she can't wash her hands off it. The blood will be on her hands. I don't know if there's going to be violent. They keep saying it's going to be a peaceful march. Where in South Africa have you ever seen a peaceful march in your lives? Every march has resulted in deaths, in casualties, in catastrophe. They must not treat us like kids. She always goes around and say, this is going to be a peaceful protest. We have come to the conclusion with the Metro Police of Durban, with the police in Durban, the municipalities, that we're not going to disrupt anything. We are not going to block any roads. We are not going to block any roads leading to industrial sites and the CBD, the central business hubs. We are not going to block anything. It will be business as usual, but we're going to keep our marches, our protests very peacefully. When have we ever had a peaceful protest in South Africa? Remember the July unrest, the 2021 July unrest, when President Jacob Zuma was found guilty and sentenced to 15 years in prison? Remember how the Zulu lost their minds at that sentencing. They shut down the entire KZN. They looted it, killed people. And you want to say that this particular protest will be peaceful? It has never been peaceful. She knows that very well. It has never been peaceful. From the beginning, when Phakelo Mthakati, her co-leaders, those two male imbeciles wearing their traditional clothes, holding their spears and chasing down African migrants in the cities barefoot, in their colonial attires, chasing them down, beating them up. What part of that is peaceful? So you're telling me that from the beginning, when your organization took shape and form and beating African migrants in the streets, suddenly it's going to be peaceful on the 30th of June? What could have shifted? What could have shifted from last year, October, to 30th of June 2026? What changed? I'm yet to see any change within. It's always been violence. Violence is your protocol. Violence is your protocol. Hatred is your protocol. I mean, you did mention so many times that you hate dark-skinned people from Limpopo. They're not South African enough because they're not light-skinned. They don't look European. She didn't say this verbatim, but she was insinuating, because she says they're too dark to be considered South African, hence they should hold their IDs whenever they walk around the country. So when you hate in that manner, don't you think it will manifest physically? Your people were always about beating African migrants, violating them. And suddenly you want to tell us that it's going to be a peaceful march? Don't talk to us like we're imbeciles. You can tell the Zulus that. They'll lap it up. But the government should be worried. This defiance spirit, this rebellious spirit, it's going to land her in trouble, because none of us are going to be there when she's in the prison cells, when she's in the highest C-Max prison. No one's going to pick her up. People forget that a country, a nation, a sovereign is governed by a set of laws and rules. Laws that actually predate the government that is currently in power. And those rules will be obeyed. And people forget that the courts don't operate on their emotions. They don't operate on rebelliousness. They don't operate on the spirit of resilience, on emotions. They don't care about emotions. They don't. You incited violence from the beginning. You opened your mouth to introduce yourself. And as from that moment, that is evidence. That is the evidence that the courts are going to collect when they prosecute you. Should anything happen to anybody on the 30th of June, it will solely be on you. It doesn't matter where in the country it happens. The blood will be on your hands. Don't absolve yourself. I saw a video of her absolving herself, saying that, well, it's not our responsibility, it will be the government's fault should anything happen to anybody on the 30th of June. Girl, no, don't do that. It's not the government that told you to go protest. So I'm really scared for her right now. This rebelliousness is going to get her in trouble, and no one's going to bail her out. We are not going to be here. We can laugh with you. We can kiki haha. We can march and stand in solidarity with you. But when you go to a C-Max prison, they're not going to be there. They're not going to pay your lawyer's fee. They're not going to do that. We don't operate on emotions. What do you think about this segment? Comment to us in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the African Diaspora News channel.